Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure preview video. Before we begin, I have to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person with me in Hong Kong at ACGHK and snapping some badass high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below. Without him, this series and this video in fact wouldn't be possible. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new figure preview video goes live on the channel. This, not entirely unexpected, Hot Toys does love Iron Man, we know that, and Hot Toys collectors seem to love Iron Man. Or they did. I have started to see some people getting out of Iron Man. RDJ, no longer playing Tony Stark. Tony Stark is no longer with us in the MCU, RIP. So, a lot of people assumed that we wouldn't see any more Iron Man figures. Hot Toys, they assumed completely differently. We've seen multiple 2.0s, 3.0s, quarter scale figures, and now finally an Avengers 1 Tony Stark, the figure that people were asking for a very long time. I'm not mad at this. I can tell some people are, and I understand if you're Tony Starked out, okay. But this one being as iconic as it is, I'm going to give it a pass. You don't have to, just my opinion. This, I have been waiting for forever. We will get into the inaccuracies and the head sculpt, I promise. Starting off with the bits and pieces, you get some die-cast Iron Man feet. Yes, the metal rods are real metal. You also get some swap-out thigh plates with the rockets extended. But only 2 extra hands, just some open palm hands. He does have closed fists on him in the display. You also get the little bracelets that the Mark 7 in pod mode locked onto to actually form over Tony. Some mesh/techie panels that would plug onto the suit somewhere, not quite sure. They look like maybe thigh pieces, could be wrong. As well as some techie parts for his forearms that would form the gauntlets of the Mark 7. These are like the understructure pieces of the suit. They're not red and gold, they're just plain silver because this is what the armor would actually attach onto. The way this figure works is quite interesting. You have multiple different ways you can display him. You can have him as just Tony Stark if you want, which I think I'm going to do. Or you could have him pose jumping out of a tower with the suit forming over him in midair. Or you can actually have the suit on him, or at least partially. You can't quite fully convert him to a Mark 7, but you can get a good chunk of the way there. The display base is simple enough, hexagonal, Avengers, Tony Stark, and an arc reactor up on top. You do get a dynamic flight pole if you do want to pose him jumping out the window or technically being thrown out the window by Loki, then yes, totally doable. This is what he looks like mid-formation when he's in a suit-up. See, Hot Toys loves these suit-up figures. We had the Mark 5 suit-up. I'm displaying mine just in the racing suit because I've wanted a racing suit Tony forever. They also did the Silver Centurion suit up, which I thought was a bit of an L. I didn't love it. The articulation was quite terrible just due to the nature of it having all these panels exposed like this guy. And I didn't quite know why they made it. The Silver Centurion is cool as a suit of armor. I don't think that one split-second scene of him putting it on was worth making a figure out of. But Hot Toys did. And I'm glad they're continuing with this line with this style. I much prefer them going this route, having a full Tony Stark figure that you can put the armor on top of, versus the Silver Centurion route where it's a die-cast monstrosity with very little posability and a USB cable coming out of its ass. Not my preferred option for a suit-up figure. This style, definitely worth them exploring a little bit further. Oh, and the special edition bonus is this holographic Stark Tower. It's cool with the red in the middle of the blue translucent. Not entirely necessary though. I don't think it's special edition or bust this time. If you miss out on the holographic tower, I think you're going to be perfectly fine. Now the outfit is pretty simple. Some black pants and a Black Sabbath shirt. You'd think they'd get it as accurate as possible, right? Unfortunately, no. I don't know if it was because of licensing, probably the case, but the Black Sabbath logo is wrong. It's supposed to say Black Sabbath up on top, and I'm pretty sure the main dude wearing the helmet and gas mask isn't quite accurate either. It's also too vibrant. In the movie, it was very, very faded. Now, I do have some worries about longevity, durability of the body underneath this black shirt because, as we all know, black fabric does tend to dye 1/6 scale bodies and head sculpts, especially when it's skin tight like this outfit is. Then we have that clamp around his wrist. If you try and move this guy or you bump him, yeah, that clamp would probably scratch up the paint applications on his forearms, so you will have to be pretty darn careful with this. It does, at the very least, cover up the wrist pegs, which is a nice touch. Now, Hot Toys do have a track record of doing inaccurate outfits when it comes to licensing, like this Black Sabbath t-shirt. Marty McFly didn't have his Nikes, nor did he have his Pepsi bottle, nor did he have his Walkman or his Mattel hoverboard. Ripley didn't have her Reeboks, Batman from the '89 film didn't have his Nikes, so you can see that Hot Toys do tend to skimp when it comes to licensing. So maybe you could give him a replacement t-shirt that does say Black Sabbath, but right now he's not entirely film accurate. And having that logo be missing from the front of the figure, it's on full display and it is very, very noticeable. Now this head sculpt, it looks so much better in person. And yes, that is a first-hand account. I was standing directly in front of this guy. In fact, I took most of these pictures. I think it looks like RDJ. Yes, the hairline is a little bit too far back. The forehead is slightly too big. Maybe that's a creative decision. That's what Hot Toys decided to do to sell this expression. Not entirely sure. Will they update the head sculpt? Also not entirely sure. If it comes out looking like this, I'm gonna be happy. I can see the likeness from a technical perspective. It's really well sculpted and painted, including the hair. The individual strands are very finely detailed. And we get moving eyes. So if you want to have him jumping, or sorry, being thrown out the window, made that mistake twice in the same video, you can have him looking up or down towards the street. Being able to adjust the eyes and mix up the expression, that's always a good thing. Having a head sculpt be more versatile thanks to moving eyes, it just makes me very happy. Is the head sculpt perfect? No, I don't think it is. I reckon there is room for improvement. It is still a lot better in person. That angle right there, even with the slightly goofy open mouth, I still think it reads as RDJ as Tony Stark. Look, if you think I'm crazy and you hate this head sculpt and you're sitting there in the comment section typing, "Justin, how dare you, this is the worst head sculpt ever," don't forget to add in my opinion, because we all have different opinions. I like this head sculpt, and that's mine. We don't have to agree, actually, as long as you like it or don't like it, and I've helped you one way or another by showing you these pictures. They do all the talking, even though I am literally doing all the talking. That's all that matters. Form your own opinion. We don't have to agree. You're not right or wrong. I'm not right or wrong. It's all down to personal preference. I feel I have to say that more often. With Hot Toys figures, they get people very riled up because of the price point. I get it, I understand. These things are expensive. But I assure you, in person, it looked so much better than the promo pics and maybe even in these pictures. Seeing it as a whole standing there posed with the suit forming over him, it's impressive. It's visually interesting. It's dynamic. It's going to stand out in your Iron Man collection. And at the end of this video, I'm happy to say all of that because that's what I was hoping going in with this Tony Stark. Will it replace the Mark VII in your collection? I highly doubt it. Will it be the ultimate Tony Stark figure? Also, probably not. But it's up there, and if they do some tweaks to the head sculpt, make it even better, or perfect, then yeah, I reckon it could be the ultimate Tony Stark. This iconic moment from an iconic film, Avengers 1, you'd have a very tough time beating it. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future for their next suit-up figure, that maybe we get a Mark 50 Tony Stark in the tracksuit from Avengers Infinity War. That's one that, I would definitely cop. I love Infinity War. Now this guy, well, I'm getting it, and I can't wait. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.